Leave no stone unturned. Roar! Chucking big.
Hey everybody, what are you thinking about doing today?
Lifting some stuff.
Throwing some stuff.
Carrying some stuff.
Chucking big.
Yes.
It certainly wasn't your traditional day of heavy events. Yeah, we had to adapt, we had to change, we had to make things out, but I think it was a classic chuck and big day out.
The 28-pound weight for distance is an absolutely majestic event. One of the two weight for distance hammers, the other one being the 56-pound. You'll notice that it's a mixture of coordination, balance, and rhythm. It's just an absolutely stunning event. Here you've got Morgan Westmoreland putting on an absolute clinic, and that last final push propels the weight as far as it possibly can go. Getting really good at the weight for distance takes time and reps, and it's just a journey in itself, finding that rhythm, finding that groove, starting, stopping, and then finally finding the sweet spot, and then it just flies. There's a very small niche for the heavy events in Australia, and along with the technical side of it, another component to it is actually the camaraderie, the mateship, and the sharing of ideas, because in the scope of it, we don't really get an opportunity to see a lot of throws. And I know with YouTube and all these different technologies nowadays, it's changed a bit, but a good old chat, talking about how it felt, talking about what you could possibly do, getting some different ideas from different people can make the utmost difference in your heavy events career.
Sometimes you have to adapt. Otherwise, you don't make it.
Yeah, on the road. Go on. I'll sing first.
On the road again.
An event that was supposed to be filmed at one location turned into a road trip and multiple locations. So we adapted and we had an absolute blast.
Okay, a little to the left. And a little bit to the right. And a little bit of like chin that way. There we go. Amazing. Show me some tiger. Oh, look at that. Oh, tossing it to the crowd. What a beauty.
And for warm-ups, we had a bit of fun. Did some lifting, did some posing, and we even did some team log pressing. And then we got back to the serious stuff. The caber is an iconic, fan-favorite event. And for the athlete, it's really about building a relationship with that caber in a very short amount of time. It's pulling, it's pushing, and it comes in a couple of different stages. You've got your pick, then you've got your walk or carry, and then you're exploding with as much power as you can and trying to get the caber to land at 12 o'clock. So there's a lot of technique and a lot of trust, not only in the caber, in yourself, but in your other competitors. It starts off with another competitor walking the caber up to you so you can get balance. He might or she might say, "Are you ready?" You give the okay sign, then the caber's basically yours. All the weight is on you. Then you got to work your way down the caber while it's shifting in multiple directions, and you're trying to build that relationship with your shoulder and the caber and your neck, getting lower and lower into the point where you can get your pick. Now you got to know when to drop it if it's just not working, and then giving it a stare down, getting ready for your next chance to get under that caber and to be able to pick it.
Yes! That was awesome!
Scottish Hammer, only done at Ringwood Highland Games and Celtic Festival in Victoria. We're off to watch Mo with a rattan shaft and a metal ball at the end of it, trying to get the longest orbit he can. You'll notice here that Mo prepares himself with a really strong foundation, sets himself up, gets the hammer out and long, and on each turn tries to get it longer and longer until finally the magic happens. And sometimes you need a bit of tacky. Tacky is an extremely sticky substance that you'll rub on your hands, rub it in, get it really sticky, grip it into the shaft, and the one thing you don't want to do after is give yourself a high five, because your hands will definitely get stuck together. Morgan with a beautiful release and the expression of power.
Well, we wanted to throw, and it was raining, and we're like, we still needed to throw, so we're like, stuff it. And we decided to throw in the rain. We're like, it's Scottish, we might as well just throw it. And we had an absolute blast, man. We were drenched, but it was so much fun.
Oh, that was looking better.
I find my worst event. Too much coordination and feet.
But yeah, he can do weight for distance perfectly. That was nice. The perils of being a Highland Warrior Games athlete, having to walk out and get your rock every time you throw it.
The forces of nature have great craftsmanship, producing some beautiful stones just waiting to be lifted.
had your horse and carriage or anything, you know, if a tree's fallen down, you're not going to get the bobcat out and move it around. You had to move that bad boy yourself. So getting out and moving physically. They come from Bannockburn in Victoria, which, you know, a very famous name, obviously the Battle of Bannockburn in Scotland. They're made of sugar gum, so that's one of the most dense and heaviest timbers. It will retain its weight, probably lose about 2% water over the years, and that's about it. And they weigh 50 to 60 kilos each. A normal farmer's walk would have a fixed handle, so it wouldn't move. So you pick it up and it'd stay and it'd stabilise whatever you're carrying, a rock or a log. These ones move. They're very difficult, sort of dinny stone style. So whenever you pick them up, the logs come and they bash in your leg and the logs move. So it's a whole different ballgame. It's not just picking up and running. You've got to balance these things. You've got to stabilise them. They bash your legs. So the more difficult, the harder, the better.
So here we have Tracy Dicey giving the Bannockburn logs a go down at Morgan Westmoreland. And she gets off to a very good start. Look at them shake from side to side. Remember, they're mixed handles and they're quite lopsided. Beautiful craftsmanship by Morgan Westmoreland. She makes the turn, has to rebalance, and is in for the final stretch without a drop.
Wow.
Can she get there? Oh, a little bit of movement. And a great put down. What a carry.
That's amazing.
What does it mean to you to be chucking big? Is it believing in yourself? Is it believing in your strength and your power? Is it just throwing ideas out to the universe and seeing what happens? I ask you this question. What does it mean to you to be chucking big?
I've been competing in power sports, heavy sports for probably 15 years. Then I retired in 2017. Since that time, I've come across a group, Chucking Big, and a new group of people bringing passion and inspiration to Scottish Highland sport. And that has brought my passion right back to the forefront, giving me the drive to come back and start chucking big. Cheers.
So chucking big, okay, what does chuck and big mean to me? Well, not only do they do a great tee, which I happen to be wearing today, they have been fantastic for the community of Highland Games. A couple of years ago, I was at the Maryborough Highland Games and I thought, wow, wouldn't that be fantastic for females to do that? 2 years later, we got the chance, myself and some wonderful other ladies got the chance to compete. And I firmly believe it wasn't for the guys at Chucking Big, and they're really, you know, supporting us and pushing for us to compete. We would not have competed. So from my point of view, they've done fantastic work in the community to promote females in the sport. And plus they do a great kilt. Thanks, guys. Love your support. Keep it going.
For me, what it means to be Chucking Big is the lead up of the training with my mate Mo, and then also being out there on the paddock and just launching it, making sure that, you know, every shot you're sending it, having some fun, having a yak between events, and being part of the history of Highland Games and that Chucking Big is bringing to Victoria.
Led by Joshua and Joseph, Chucking Big has brought together a community of athletes from all sorts of different backgrounds, powerlifting, strongman, Highland Games or track and field like myself. Chucking Big is all about inclusiveness, fun, building confidence, and picking up and throwing heavy things. The willingness to share knowledge by the whole team is so valuable. Whether you're just starting out, having your first throw, or whether you've been doing it for many years, there's always something to learn and there's always someone willing to help you along the way.
What does Chucking Big mean to me? Well, it means Highland Games, mateship, it means new adventures, it's exciting, it's goals, it's, you know, when you chuck big, releasing all that power from within.
This is what Chucking Big's about, mate. Getting outside, bit of freedom, not being stuck in an office, getting out and testing yourself against nature, and just having a good day.